Well, hello, children. This is Dwayne again, and I have another story for you. This one here is entitled Jesus Brings Lazarus to Life. Now, I'm going to do everything from the start here, so that makes maybe the children enjoy this. So we have this as the house, and let's see, we'll put a window maybe somewhere like here. Let's put a window in there. And maybe in this house we'll have a table. We'll put a table over here. And let's see, we'll put on maybe a nice bouquet of flowers. That would be nice on the center of the table. Okay, now most houses may have a bed in it. So we'll put a bed over here. Oh, maybe somewhere here, like this. And we'll have another table by like a nightstand by the bed, and maybe we'll have a little pitcher, maybe for water or whatever. Maybe we'll put that there. Okay. Anyhow, in this house that we have here, we have three people that are very, very close friends. That's Mary. This is Martha, and their brother Lazarus. Three of them lived in this house, and they were very close friends with Jesus. They loved Jesus. Jesus was always at home there. He could go anytime he wanted to, and they would feed him, and he could relax there. And they were real close friends with Jesus. Well, one day, Jesus was over in Jericho area and ministering over there, and he got word that Lazarus was very sick. And Lazarus was in bed, and he was very, very ill. And his sisters were trying to help him, doing what they could, and they sent word over to Jesus, say, hey, your friend Lazarus is very ill. Come. I know if you come, you can heal him. Well, Jesus just kind of didn't go right away. He just kind of stayed around, and then they finally, after 3 days, he told his disciples, he said, now let's go ahead, let's go back to Bethany, and let's check on Lazarus. Well, he told them that Lazarus is doing well. He's sleeping. And they said, oh, Jesus, if he's sleeping, that means he's feeling better. And Jesus told them that no, Lazarus is dead. But for your sake, I'm glad I wasn't there, that God may be magnified through this whole experience. Now, so the disciples, they were right away wondering, they were wondering what's going to happen. So we have Lazarus, he has died. And so we'll just take this off. We'll build another scene, and on the way back to Bethany, where Mary, Martha, and Lazarus lived, while as they were coming back there, I'll start building this while I keep talking the story. But anyway, as they were heading back, why, Martha heard that Jesus was coming, so she ran out to meet him. And she told Jesus, if you'd have been here, my brother would not have died. And he said, Martha, don't you believe that I am he that believeth on me, the resurrection and the life? He that believeth on me shall never die. Yes, I said, do you believe that? And he said, yes, I believe that. Well, so we have so anyhow the Bible goes on to say that Mary or Martha went and got Mary and told Mary, Jesus is calling you. He's asking for you to come, and says, why don't you? And so she came out to Jesus, and Jesus asked her, said, where did you lay him? Because he was dead and buried already. So they went to the sepulchre. Well, he said, come and see. So they went. And we'll have the sepulchre over here. That's where they had buried Lazarus. So we have Jesus maybe leading the way to the sepulchre. And maybe right behind him we have Martha and Mary and Martha coming, following behind. And here maybe one of the maybe someone here, maybe he's pointing toward the sepulchre. Over there's the sepulchre. And of course we always have some of the scribes and Pharisees coming along, so we'll have him there to represent them. And he's we call this fellow maybe a scribe. But you know, there was a crowd of people that were along. And maybe some of the disciples. And usually in most cases like this, you even have a Roman soldier to see what's going on, you know, when there's a crowd coming. Anyhow, so they came over to the sepulchre. And let's put Jesus a little bit closer here. Yeah, I'll move them all a little bit closer here, probably a little bit closer to the sepulchre than that. And Jesus told them to open up the sepulchre, roll the stone back. And they said, oh, no, Jesus, he's already, by this time, he's already decaying. He don't smell good, he stinks already. And he said, didn't I tell you that if you believe God, that you could see what God can do? So they rolled the sepulchre, the stone away. Then Jesus prayed. And he prayed that the people might hear, that understand that he was the Son of God. And that they might know that when Jesus calls on God, that God hears him. And God will do exactly what he asked him to do. And so when he got done, he cried out with a loud voice, and I think he especially said Lazarus. There may have been more people in that tomb than just Lazarus. A lot of times they bury various people in the same tomb. I don't know, but he called out, Lazarus, come forth. And so out start coming this, we would call it maybe a mummy. They wrapped the dead people up in rags and cloth and then buried them that way, or laid them in the tomb. They didn't bury them like we think of burying people, but they laid him in the tomb. Maybe they had a stone bed they laid him on, I'm not sure. But they laid him in there anyway. And this mummy started coming out, and you can imagine people, what's going on? And when he came out here, Jesus told him, loose him and let him go. Well, they unwrapped him, and just a picture there, maybe Lazarus after he was come to life. And people could begin to they praise the Lord, they thank God, but then there's some of these here actually went back, like the scribes and Pharisees, they went back and said, what are we going to do? Well, this is a very, we know the man was dead. He has been in the grave for 4 days. And he resurrected him from the dead. He came back to life again. And he's fine, he's healthy. He's just like normal. And he said, what are we going to do? This man is going to take over everything yet. And because of Jesus doing all these miracles. Well, we know Jesus was the Son of God, and he was one that was going to demonstrate that he has control of both life and death and all. He has control of that. So, well, we just want to be thankful that we can see God working again in a very marvelous way, a miracle. And he is the resurrection and the life to those that are willing to believe on him. Thank you.